I guess another topic I could bring up that you can even put on your music channel if you want is, are there any music artists that you think don't have enough good albums where like they make some good albums but their track record is just terrible? And I hate when that stuff happens. Like I can think of plenty of artists like that, like The Game, for example. The documentary is a great album. I love Dreams. I love a lot of the songs on there, like Put You on the Game. We Ain't with Eminem is amazing. And let me tell you something about We Ain't with Eminem. That's the only song I've heard with Eminem on that I think he got outshined. Because most songs Eminem are on, he outshines him. But in my opinion, We Ain't with The Game, I think The Game outshined Eminem on that song. I like Game's verses a lot more than Eminem's. And that's very rare for me to say that. Like Eminem's verse wasn't terrible on We Ain't, but just something about the Game's delivery and flow in that song just was a lot more smooth than Eminem's, you know? That was around 2004 and 5, so the Game was probably a lot more hungry than Eminem because he was just getting in the gate, you know? So, We Ain't, and the documentary was good. And I've tried to check out other projects by the Game, like Blood Moon, or like a few songs off a few albums, and it just don't have the same impact as the fucking documentary, you know? So that's one. Exhibit's definitely one. Restless is good. There's a few songs I like off Napalm, but it doesn't seem like he has a good track record. Hobson, kind of. I mean, he's had some good projects, but some of his projects are a little bit shaky. Eminem, definitely. He's probably one of the biggest, you know? Eminem definitely has a really bad track record when it comes to projects.
Yeah, there's a couple artists I can think that need to get their track records a little bit better. Like, I definitely think Busta Rhymes could stand to have a better track record. I like Genesis and some of the Big Bang, but there's a lot of albums where he just would get like 1, 2, maybe 3 hit singles and then call it a day. And in some cases, even with like Dr. Dre's help, it's just kind of, I mean, the thing about Busta Rhymes is everyone says he has like this magnetic energy, but, apart from like his delivery and like the fury that he brings when he does do records, I mean, I still feel like we could stand to have, more cohesive projects, because Genesis was definitely good, but there needs to be more records. I don't really appreciate like the 90s Busta Rhymes records. And I kind of feel like Snoop Dogg could probably chisel his records too. He could probably up them a notch more. Like, I'm definitely glad that he has like a good quantity of music and he can continue to put out records still and doesn't have that problem. But, like a few of his records, like The Last Meal, I mean, that had some good Dre beats on there and a few good songs, but it wasn't anywhere near a classic. And, I didn't really like Ego Trippin' as much as I could have. I mean, there's just other records. It kind of depends upon some of them, but a lot of the times they feel more of like a mixed bag. I mean, Snoop Dogg is a legend, but I feel like he doesn't have enough like superb albums, like classics like Doggy Style was, and he needs more like that.